Hey, thanks for joining us here at Garage Boxing. This is Kevin Breen. This is a special edition of Garage Boxing. This is my father, James Breen, Los Angeles sports reporter in the past and big boxing fan. What we're talking about is July 4th, and we've just seen online the Eddie Chambers win over Dimitrenko, big 6'7" Russian guy. And hey, happy 4th of July! Cheers.
There you go.
We got a win, and Eddie Chambers looked pretty good. You know, I mean, his only loss is to Povetkin. We saw. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Well, I just think, first of all, it's appropriate that on July 4th we'd see a resurgence of Americans in the heavyweight division. It's been so long since we've had anybody up there rated high and who's, in the national picture like we did years ago when it was turned around the other way. It was more like the rarity was the European fighter, and it was all Americans. Now it's the other way around. So it's nice to see Eddie Chambers come out and put together such a decisive victory over the previously undefeated Russian. I was amazed. He took it to him from the very beginning, and he I think took advantage of some tactical errors by the Russian to continue to pile up points as the fight went on and win very decisively.
Yeah, it was very decisive. He having had two knockdowns late in the fight, and the eventual scores were 116 to 111, 117, 109, and then I don't know how, but it was 113 to 113. But again, decisive, victory, and here on 4th of July. Want to know what your thoughts are. If you saw it online, it was not televised. It was a great fight, and I wish it was televised. And hopefully something like that will be televised in the future. And he basically has now the right to fight Klitschko. And, it really is going to come down to money. I mean, he's had a loss to Povetkin, and Povetkin is undefeated. And so, Povetkin's people are probably going to want Klitschko. Value of, everyone wants Klitschko. He's the man where, he's the man you got to beat. So, and of course, he just beat Ruslan Chagayev a couple weeks ago, and that was a decisive victory for him. I think that Eddie Chambers' victory is great. I think it was about the 6th round when he kind of seemed to take over, and then like maybe the 7th and 8th round where he was really pounding his chest, and after he came in with a nice left and knocked his mouthpiece out and stunned him and made him get down. But if it's going to take him, a real Wladimir Klitschko light kind of guy, if you will, 6'7", nowhere near the kind of jab or power as far as Klitschko goes.
Yeah.
If it's going to take him that long to do that, not to take an ear out of the victory, but I think he looked good. I guess he was 209 pounds. I want to say his fight previous was probably in the 220s or
yeah, he was well up into the 220s, and I understand he weighed 204 for this fight tonight.
209, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
209. Less than 210. So.
Well, he really looked good. He looked like he was in shape, better shape than he was in the previous fight, the one that he lost. And I think he should fight Povetkin again.
Povetkin, you'd like to see the rematch?
I'd rather see them fight again first if Chambers is going to have a chance at the championship and Klitschko. I think he needs another tune-up fight, or he needs a tune-up fight. And what better match would it be to fight the guy again?
Well, yeah, and it's not really a tune-up. He's a the Russian gold medalist, a different era, and that's why some people like to see that fight, Klitschko and Povetkin. But certainly, I think there's probably more money in whether it's Chris Arreola or now Eddie Chambers probably being the front runner, and really as far as skill and after this fight and determination and confidence, I think coming out of this fight, he looks like probably the best young American heavyweight that we have. I don't know who Arreola is going to fight. I think he's targeting September, but whoever he fights, I hope he impresses. I think I'd really like to see Arreola. We both like Arreola, of course. He's Southern California and,
Sure.
and big tough Mexican guy, and we're rooting for him. But I think the way that Chambers came with his weight down and looking good and looking determined, I think you'd like to see that happen with Chris Arreola, the nightmare, and not just rely on those big bombs to just land. And it's not going to be easy to land against Klitschko. And Chambers looked like he can get in there and get inside, but like I said, it's not. I mean, he really looked amateurish, and he looked at it confused and talking about Dimitrenko.
He did.
I think if you're right, he fought the fight the wrong way.
If a guy's 6'7" and has a considerable reach over his opponent, the shorter Chambers, you'd think he'd take advantage of jab, jab, jab. Getting him inside, getting him off with that jab. And he threw punches from a lot of different angles in the fight, but he never really did throw that consistent jab. Whereas Chambers did.
Mm-hmm.
And when he threw the jab, it wasn't just one of those little powder puff jabs. I mean, he was hitting hard with his jab and throwing hooks later on. So I think Chambers looked really good, and I, of course, would love to see Chambers eventually fight Arreola.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too, but if you only have so many bullets in your gun, you want to shoot him at Klitschko and get an American heavyweight in there. I don't want to see one another cancel each other out.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, if again, I think Arreola is not going to have Klitschko next. I think he's going to fight somebody, and if he dispatches of them in impressive order, he's probably going to be deserving of a shot. It's all about money, right? But,
well, it is, yeah. Arreola and Chambers would be a while off. That'd be a ways down the road because you got to figure out who's going to fight Klitschko next, and it would be a natural, I think. I could see Arreola drawing a lot of people to, say, a place like Dodger Stadium, where they could have a huge crowd with all the Mexican Americans.
Charge $25 a ticket, general admission.
God, sure. They'd have, and I'm sure for boxing, they could seat probably upwards of 65,000 people there. So, and I'm sure they could fill Dodger Stadium, and so that would be a great match. But like I said, I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Well, that would be interesting to get the German fans aren't like the Filipinos and the Mexicans and the other fans out there that the Ricky Hatton fans will go spend $5,000 to go to Vegas. But if you have a big blockbuster like that in LA, where maybe that happens. But hopefully we're getting some clarification. Dimitrenko is Chagayev. They're kind of lower on the totem pole now, and you've got Chambers with an impressive win. Arreola waiting in the wings. Hopefully something happens there.
Yeah.
And then, we talked about the other American, Kevin Johnson, and I think he fought a couple months ago, and I don't know what's going on. Someone tell us what's happening with him.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let us know your thoughts on the heavyweight division, whether you think that, no matter what we're talking about here, Klitschko, it will roll over everybody. Maybe that's what your thoughts are. This is, not even a good idea to be talking about, but we're excited. It was a good fight. Cheers.
There you go.